We are still busy with common fractions, and more specifically today we are going to take a look at the multiplication of common fractions. In the previous video we focused on the addition and subtraction of fractions. So we are going to illustrate it with reference to exercise 13.3. Number 1 requires that we calculate these numbers. Afterwards, check your answer using your calculator. So we have 7/5 multiplied by 8/14. Now, the strategy for multiplication of fractions, there are more than one. The one strategy is to simply add tops and add bottoms. Let's illustrate that one. So we could say 7 times 8 at the top, and then at the bottom we can simply say 5 times 14. So 7 times 8 is 56. 5 times 14, 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 4 is 20. 50 plus 20 is 70. So this is not in simplest form, so we need to simplify. We can either use our factor tree, our prime factor tree, or we can simply see what can divide in both of these. So I believe 7 can go into both. How many times does 7 go into 57? 7 times 7 is 49, plus 7 is 57, so 8 times 7. So 8 times 7, so 7 goes into 56 8 times, 7 goes into 70 10 times. We can still simplify further, because we know 2 can go into 8 and 2 can go into 10. So 2 goes into 8 4 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times, so 4/5. 56 over 70 is equivalent to 4/5, and we can't simplify 4/5 anymore. Okay, so this is the approach of multiplying tops, multiplying bottoms, and then simplifying. The other approach is if we multiply or divide, we are allowed to cancel. So if we focus on that way, let me use another color pen. So for that strategy we can say, well, 7 and 14, they can cancel to an extent. 7 can go into itself once, 7 can go into 14 twice. So now we are left with, we can even go further. 2 can go into itself once, 2 can go into 8 4 times. So now at the top we have 1 times 4, which is 4. At the bottom we have 1 times 5, which is 5. And we get exactly the same solution. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to try number 1b of exercise 13.3. I'll give you a bit of time. Okay, so the one approach you could take was to multiply tops, multiply bottoms. So we have a minus times a minus, which results in a positive. You don't even have to write it down. In the absence of a sign, it means positive. 9 times 5 is 45. So at the top we have 45, bottom 7 times 12. 7 times 10 is 70, 7 times 2 is 14, 70 plus 14 is 84. Now we can see if we can simplify. Is there anything that can go both into 84 and in 45? I actually don't believe there is something. We'll soon see if we compare against the other approach, because we should get the same result. Okay, so now let's look at the approach where instead of multiplying tops and bottoms, before we get there, we first try to simplify by cancelling. So let's see, 9 and 12. I believe 3 can go in both. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 is a prime factor, 7 is a prime factor, 5 is a prime factor. So we can't really change anything there. 4 is not, but it's the same as 2 times 2, which is prime factors. So we won't have anything to cancel. So now we can multiply tops. A negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 5 is 15. So we have 15 on the top. 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, so in fact, we could have simplified here. So let's just go and see. So actually 3 I believe can go into both, because 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 can go into 9 3 times. At the bottom 8 and 4 is 12. 3 can go into 12 without remainder. So 3 can go into 45 15 times. 3 goes into 4 once, remainder 1, so we have 15, 3 go into 15, 5. Yes, 15 will work. How many times does 3 go into 84? Well, 3 goes into 8 twice, remainder 2, 3 go into 24, 28 times. So we see, in fact, they do correspond. So number C, it looks much complicated, but it's basically just the same thing. Things often look complicated, but you just need to calm yourself down and use what you know. So we have 3/8 times 7 over 4. I'm just going to do this so that you don't confuse it with a plus. I use the computer multiply. And then of 99% of the time, if we see a mixed fraction, change it in an improper fraction first. So we have 2 times 7, add the 1 at the top, keep the 7 at the bottom. So in fact we have 3 over 8 times 7 over 4 times 2 times 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15 over 7. Okay, so either you can multiply tops from the word go, or first try and simplify by cancelling. I'm going to first see what I can cancel. I see this 7 can cancel with this 7. Let's see, is there anything that can go in 15 and 4? No. Anything that can go into 8 and 15? No. That doesn't, it seems that's the only cancellations we can do. So now we can multiply tops. 3 times 1 is 3. Times 15 is 45 at the top. Let's do the same with bottoms. 8 times 4 is 32. Times 1 is 32. Is this in simplified form? No. It's an improper fraction. Top bigger than bottom, or numerator bigger than denominator. So change to mixed fraction. 32 goes into 45 once. Remainder of 13 over 32. So that's this most simplified solution, 1 and 13/32. So number 2 of 13.3, determine these numbers. Afterwards, check your answer using your calculator. 9/4 of 44. Now, from Botmas and from primary school, you should know if we see off, it means we can simply replace it by multiplication. So it's the same as 9/4 off we replace by multiply 44, which is the same as 44/1. Now let's see if we can cancel some stuff. 4 can go into itself once, 4 can go into 44 11 times. Multiply tops, 9 times 11 is 99. Multiply bottoms, 1 times 1 is 1. 99 divided by 1 is in fact simply 99. Going to give you the opportunity to try number C, giving you a bit of time. As a hint, replace off by multiply. Okay, so it's the same as 2/3. Replace off by multiply. 5 is the same as 5/1. All of these are prime factors, so we won't be able to cancel because none of the prime factors are the same. So we can multiply tops. 2 times 5 is 10. We multiply bottoms. 3 times 1 is 3. This is not in simplest form. It's an improper fraction. The top is bigger than the bottom, or the numerator is bigger or greater than the denominator. So what do? We change to mixed fraction. 3 goes into 10 how many times? Yes, 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Remainder 1. Always keep the bottom the same. So it's the same as 3 and a third. As a mixed fraction, we have our whole portion, we have our fraction. Number 2D of exercise 13.3. Again, it just looks tough, but it's not that hard if we relax, calm ourselves down, and use what we know, apply what we know. So 2/3 of, we can change with or replace with multiply. Quarter of, we can again replace with multiply. 120 is the same as 120/1. Let's first see if we can cancel some things. Well, 2 and 4 we can cancel. 2 can go into itself 1. 2 can go into 4 twice. Well, 2 and 120 can cancel. Some parts. 2 can go into itself once. 2 can go into 120 60 times. Well, 3 and 60, they can cancel to an extent. So 3 can go into itself once. 3 can go into 60 20 times. So we have at the top 1 times 1 times 20, which is 20. At the bottom we have 1 times 1 times 1, which is simply 1. 20 divided by 1 is 20. So we end up with a nice round number. So your task is to do number 2A of exercise 13.3.